Good evening to all of my friends and subscribers. This is Bobby Sanchez, in case you forgot my name. I don't think you did, but in there, good evening anyway. I hope you folks are having a good day, good evening. I decided to make a video because I have two things on my mind. As you probably know, I run a YouTube channel as a reseller. That channel is called StarrSales. That's StarrSales. StarrSales. I use that to sell on online. I might say eBay, but I do also other things like Mercari. I do Etsy, Poshmark, etc. Okay, I am a reseller on that channel. I run another channel called the Wordsmith. The Wordsmith is a channel where I am in the process of running what is called a resume preparation service. For anybody who's ever been out of work, they know the first thing that they need to do when they get over their crying jag, which a lot of people do, they won't admit it, but they do have a crying jag in some form. When they get through with that, they have their little pity party. They have to pick things up and they have to get back in the game. And it doesn't matter if you're ready to do that or not. Okay. A lot of times, a lot of people who end up having adverse circumstances in the job market, they end up carrying that job baggage with them to the next position. And that's really unfortunate. Number one, it creates a person who is not willing to put their best foot forward because it's been burned. Okay? If someone gives you pain, you're going to be less apt to voluntarily get it the second time. In other words, first, twice, as they say in horses, once bit, twice shy. You know? So they're less likely to want to do their best work for the new boss because they're afraid they're going to be treated the same way as they were with their old boss. Okay. The other reason is because the other reason may be because they get back in the game and they want to do well, and they carry with them a lot of anger over to their previous treatment of whatever happened to them last time, whether it was their fault or not. Okay, there's a lot of people who end up getting the what I call the political hack, which means you're dead because you don't fit in with the political system. The powers that be don't like you. It doesn't matter what kind of work you do, you're just not good enough. Okay. Or it could be, a personality conflict with the boss. That doesn't make you wrong. That makes you different. Okay. So people can find themselves in situations differently. And my job at the Wordsmith is to help them get through that. I am not a licensed psychologist, but I listen. I got 2 ears, no waiting. My mom used to say that you have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. That means you should listen more than you speak. Okay? And I try to take that advice to heart. You should listen more than you speak. You should have very, very good faith in your decision-making process, but you should listen more than you speak. And that's one of the things I do. If you look at my website for my resume service, you'll find that there are 3 things that I do there. One is do resumes. I am a recruiter with 27 years experience. I think I know my way around a resume and what needs to go on one. And I also know that people get fired because of whatever reason. If you work in a right-to-will state such as where I live here in Texas, they don't need a reason. I got let go one time because I am not a fan of country and western music. Okay? There are a few songs I like here and there. Right? But there's one singer in particular that I am not very much of a fan of, and that is, let me think of his name. The guy with the fancy hat. What's his name? I must be getting old. I can't remember his name. But anyway, the guy who sang I Have high friends in low places, or is it friends in low places, or high whatever. But at any rate, I got fired because I didn't like him. I didn't want to go to a concert, and I just didn't want to go. So I did not drag myself along. Maybe, looking back, maybe it would have been the politically express professional thing to do, but I'm not an express professional. I do things because I feel that they're right, and if I don't think they're right, I'm not going to do it. So it has nothing to do with being politically correct. Okay, so I'm not going to do that. So anyway, I've gotten fired for that. They don't need a reason in Texas. If they don't like your eye color, you're out the door. So anyway, and the third thing that I like to do is I like to, help people get back on their feet job-wise. I do practice interviews. I can give you the interview from hell. And that way, by the time you're through with me, then whatever interview you go through will be a walk in the park. Promise. I promise you. Okay. If I put you through that and you survive it, any other interview would be a walk in the park. But anyway, I do those things on the phone and over the internet. I don't do them in person. It's just not, it's not expedient in my business model to have a brick and mortar office. So my office is in my home. So anyway, those are the three things to do. I have two YouTube channels, and I take both of them equally seriously. I'm serious about both of them. In 2019, I was forced to retire. Not that I wanted to retire, but when you reach a point where nobody wants to hire you, get a little gray on the roof. They forget about the fact that you might have snow on the roof, but there's definitely a fire in the furnace, but they forget about that. So anyway, you reach a certain age, and all of a sudden you're yesterday's news, and your opinion and your presence is no longer welcome. And that was shown to me very clearly. So, even though I was working on my master's degree at the time, and I do have an IQ of 120, and I do know how to do my job, I was not given the chance. And so when you run out of money, you run out of unemployment, you run out of friends who want to help you. When they see you coming, they cross the street and walk the other way. When that point reaches you, you've got to do something. So being 63, I was forced to take my pension. So I'm now taking my pension, income restrictions and all. But I want to come out of retirement, and so that's what this is all about. That's what this YouTube business and doing resumes and the recruiting and all of that kind of stuff is out on the table, because I'm a hustler. I'm not ever going to quit. Okay. So keeping that in mind, I am a fighter, and I'm not going to give up. I may cry a lot of tears. I may jump up and down. I may get in your business, and I might push you out the window, but I'm certainly not going to get up. I'm not going to give up. It's just something within me that will not let me do that. It will not allow me to do that. So, getting finally to the gist of this video. I have lots of colleagues out there who have lots and lots of supporters. They have PayPal people who send them money. They have people on Patreon who send them money every week because they believe in whatever message it is that they're trying to convey. Okay? There are reasons out there why people would ask for money to help sustain a livelihood. Okay? I have two very important reasons. Number one, I like to eat. I like to live. And I like to pay my rent on time. I like to pay my bills. I like to be a productive citizen. But I would say at this point in time, I'm only doing 2 out of 10. Because I'm certainly not a productive citizen. Not at the moment. Okay. My resume channel, the Wordsmith, LLC, is a valuable organization to people who are looking for work. It is also a valuable organization for people who are trying to find workers. It is a valuable organization for people who are trying to remind people of what work ethic is and how to get and keep a job. Training. Okay. Just the basic niceties of how to function in the office, not anything technical. I mean, I've worked with a lot of technical people in my field, but we are not fixing computers here. We are not programming computers here. We are not building things. We're not designing anything, and we certainly are not, going on the road singing tra la la la, I have everything I need. Okay. The second reason is my other channel. Okay. When I was out of work a year, things start going downhill. You start losing things one by one. First, you lose anything you leased. Everything goes back to where it came from. The second thing you might lose would be to any kind of unpaid for furniture that you might have. They come and they pick it up and they say, I'm sorry, but if you can't make the payments, we're going to take our product back. The third thing they do is they come back and they say, we don't care that you need a car to get a job. We are not going to work with you anymore. You owe us money, and if you don't pay it sweet, we're taking your vehicle. We don't care that you need it to find a job. And that's the way business works. They just don't care. And I am have been surrounded by people who don't give a damn. I'm not saying everybody in my life is that way. I have a few very generous and wonderful people that look after me and care about me, and they are the reason I'm still here. Otherwise, I would not have any form or function in this life. So anybody asks me, what do you need to get started? The commonality is money. My church asked me what I needed to get started, and I said, what I need you won't give me. And they said, what's that? And I said, money. Okay? I need money to buy supplies. I need money to keep my internet connected. I need money to be able to talk to people on the phone. I need a phone to do that. Okay? Things like that. And on the reselling side, I need inventory. I need a way to get inventory. You ever tried hauling a desk home on a bus? Even when you're trying to do small things, you're not getting anywhere because you have no way to get there. People throw perfectly good things out every single day. There is a YouTuber called Taco Stacks. Big shout out to him. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I've never met him in person, but I do like his videos. He goes through neighborhoods and he picks up curbside things and he flips them and he sells them. And he doesn't sell them for very much, but it sure puts money in his pocket. He's able to make a living. He's able to be productive. Nobody looks at him and says he's trying to live off the system. He's trying to make a living. I'm trying to do that too. But I can't, considering that I can hardly walk, I'm not going to be able to carry a desk home on my back. Okay? And when you're carrying things that are smaller than the desk, that gets very awkward because, like I said, I have trouble walking. And when I get off and on a bus, it is a sight to see. I have to do everything with every fiber of my being to keep from falling either down or up. But people look at me and they say, well, you still can walk. Quit asking for things. You're not humble enough. You're too arrogant. You're not worthy. Why don't you go jump off a bridge? The world would be better off. I've been told that too. Why don't you quit bothering me? If you can't get it yourself, you don't deserve it. You don't need it. Says the person who knows absolutely nothing about my life. I hate to break it to you, but I have served. I've served my country. I'm a veteran. Okay? I have served my country proudly. So don't tell me about service. I gave my life to this country, and I was willing to allow them to take it and lay me in a 6x3 hole. And that doesn't mean anything to anybody, apparently. I'm just a fat female who happens to be taking up space. People, I'm so tired of taking up space. I want to be productive. I need to find a way to get a car. Somewhere, and it doesn't have to be a car. When I say car, I'm talking metaphorically. I'm talking about a vehicle that runs. where the police won't pull me over and tell me that I can't drive it because it's illegal. Okay? That mechanically it's sound. That's what I mean. I don't worry about licenses and registration. I can take care of that, and I will take care of that. But what I can't do is come up with $2,000 for a car. Surely there's somebody out there who would be willing to sell me a vehicle that runs and allow me to pay it off in pieces, in parts. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't even have to have air conditioning at this point. It just has to run. It just has to run. I want to get back on my feet, and I want to be self-reliant again. I can't do that when things are being taken away from me constantly. And to add insult to injury, and I'll use this as the last example before I sign off. I was notified by the Veterans Administration that because I hadn't paid co-payments, they're taking that out of my pension. And they said, we're authorized to take 15% of your pension because you didn't pay this bill. So my pension, even though it was nothing much to live on, is 15% less because some idiot decided that the government needed my money more than me. They didn't ask me. If they'd asked me, I'd have told them to go screw themselves. So yes, I'm angry. I'm angry a little bit. You know, I'm a human being. I deserve to live too. And I don't want to hand out. I want to hand up. I have given to this country. I have given to this world. And I'm asking for a little bit of it back. My YouTube colleagues, they get patrons who support whatever it is they believe in. They get people that are donating to them for PayPal because they believe in whatever it is that they're doing. And here I am. I've got two what I consider very valid potential sources of contribution, and I'm being kicked in the face. Nobody's obligated to do anything for me, and I'm not expecting you to be. I just want a little consideration. When I send you a message and ask you to shout out my channel on your channel, that's not going to cost you any money. When I get there and I want to tell you, I want to tell you that you're just saying that I'm here and that I have a good channel is worth something. That would mean so much to me and would give me subscribers so that I can get monetized someday. That I might be able to sell enough eBay product to get a vehicle so I can get more eBay product to sell and make my living. Do I have to go quietly into a corner? I don't want to do that. I want to be free and happy and support myself. I don't want to ask anybody for anything. But that's what I'm doing, and I'm sorry. I just feel so frustrated right now. So very frustrated. The harder I try, the deeper the hole goes. And I end up being thrown in and I can't get out. So if you wouldn't mind, please check out my channel and at least subscribe to it or like it or comment. You know, let me know you're out there. I'm sorry. So I will sign off now. Thank you very much for listening to my rant. This is Bobby Sanchez signing off.